Hello, everyone. This is Grace Conyers from Incentech Research and Development. Today is April 9th, 2020. And if you're watching this from the future, you would know that we are in the middle of a pandemic. Yes, that's right. We're in the middle of a pandemic. So everybody's been talking about how to make a living from home because we can't leave. And I'm doing a webinar on alternative revenue streams. So I did this earlier, but when I went to go upload it, there was nothing there. As in, I forgot to hit record. So this is a fresh run, nobody in the audience, which is a shame because we had at least one good example for you to be able to use. I'm going to try to remember that one as I'm running through. But as we go, here we go. We are going to be talking about creating a variety of streams of revenue or revenue streams, however you want to say it. And all of this comes about because as you finish one project, you'll often look around and wonder where you're going to get your next bit of money from to be able to keep going forward. Clients will come and go, marketing takes time, and to make matters worse, not everyone wants or needs what you particularly have to offer, especially if it's up here on the, on the scale of things versus when all they need is just a little bit down here. So there are two keys to making all of that smoother. The first is to spend 80% of your time on marketing, which you should be doing anyway, at least for your core services. The other is to have multiple streams of revenue, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the two different ways that you can use to accomplish this: chunking and creating completely different streams. We're going to start off with different streams because it's honestly what it sounds like. It's quite literal in this one. And in this case, because we say streams, I'm going to use water as an example. Let's say you sell water testing and treatment for your company. What can you sell on the side that is different from water, but maybe not so far off? Think in terms of selling parts of your work to a different audience. The key is here, different audience. So if you're normally testing waters for, say, outdoors type of things, you're checking for E. coli in the public stream waters and things like that, then you might think homeowners, you might think the businesses, things of so different audiences. So maybe an e-course on checking your own water to homeowners could be a thing that you could do. Maybe you want to create a different revenue stream for teachers that help find water with minimal science gear, because oftentimes a lot of schools don't have that. But if they could do it with whatever they have available, you have a better chance of at least helping the education system beef up a little. So what can you think of that would teach a different audience about your work? What can you do? What other streams of revenue can you create that would work with different audiences members about things? My work, for example, is in soil sciences. I started off with helping people, and I was on a team where we basically rehabilitated land sites. Well, not everybody's got a toxic spill, but it turns out that homeowners really want their stuff to look good, and they want things to grow, and new homeowners have to do soil testing so that way they can see how viable their land is, things of that nature, especially if all they're buying is a plot of land. They also need to have it graded so that way they can see where a septic tank would be built and other such things of this nature. All of those things I could do. So I started creating a revenue stream related to homeowners, and we'll get into the how and what exactly there in the next bit. But then I created another stuff that we could use in public school systems and workshops and things like that, teaching children about school and about soils and how and what, and basically separating soils out in a jar, little activities like this just to help get that going. And although I don't charge much for them, education is different from homeowners, which is different from industrial use. Another audience that I was able to use was realtors, because they often do the soil testing as well and thus have to get it inspected, and thus I could pitch to them. Everything is about using the same system that you have, the same gear, the same products, the same services, but looking at a different audience and tweaking it just a little bit to help those. Those are the different streams of revenue. So what about chunking? That's the other one. Before we go on to that though, pause this video and give yourself a few moments to think of what you could teach a different audience about your work. I recommend structuring it such that you could have a column with type, audience type, whether homeowners, teachers, realtors, whether it's commercial work, if you work in the smaller sectors, government stuff, and then leave some blank spaces over to the side, give yourself some room, because you might, when we go through this next section, you'll be able to think of different types of activities that you might be able to sell them later on. And now, chunking. Chunking looks very similar to different revenue streams, but instead of looking at a different audience group, you're going to be looking at the different stages in your audience members' journey. So the customer's journey, where are they at? They have no idea what they're looking at. They don't know, they don't care, they've never been introduced to it before, or are they aware of it, but unconcerned because it doesn't impact them at all? Are they aware and unconcerned? Are they unaware and concerned? Because that could be based on misinformation. Are they aware of issues, but don't actually know much about these issues, and thus you could educate them? So when you look at where they might be on their journey, you can start looking at what kind of products and marketing techniques you would use to help them at that level. For example, again, I'm going to stick with the water one here. When we had the thing in Flint, Michigan, here in the United States, Flint, Michigan's problems was because there was a lot of lead contamination. A lot of old buildings ended up having problems because the lead pipes started breaking down and making things even worse. Nobody told the homeowners they are responsible for checking these things. But what if they were? Could you sell them a DIY kit? Could you market to them with information that this is important for their health? Could you sell them a filtration unit? Could you sell them plumbing services, or at least plumbing services of a cousin or brother or whoever else you might know? It's kind of a thing. That would be what we have referred to in emails before as joint ventures. Are they unaware but concerned of the real issues? This would be stemming from misinformation. So a lot of people automatically assume that they know things and that they're correct, but this is a fallacy for the most part. Anybody who works in science knows this. No Tino work today. Really is a kind of a crummy day. So education goes hand in hand with just science communication, and that helps you get them to a place where you can then sell them a part of your services. I do this in soil sciences by working with homeowners, working with people that are buying land, working with realtors, working with inspectors, working with mining people, land reclamation. All of these things are within my scope and my audience members. But then I go, okay, what do they need? If they need land reclamation, I can then sell them my highest level product here. But all if they need is to know what plants to plant in the specific area, or how to amend the soil to be able to have healthier blooms on their plants and things like that. That's this level service down here. So now part of amending soils is knowing what nutrients, but amending soils might be here, but knowing the nutrients and doing it themselves is down here. So that's what I mean by chunking, is you literally go, okay, here's everything in my highest level service. Now I could make to do this specific thing here, we need this. To do this over here, we need this, 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 this. And you can look at your audience members that you've picked out from those different revenue streams and kind of said, okay, this service could help them, this service could help them. And then you have officially chunked things down in a way that's much more sellable to a larger audience, or audiences as it might be. So those two things combined will definitely help you create a much wider and robust product and service line that'll help keep you in business for a long time. And then when you have to spend 80% of your time on marketing, it's not going to be as hard as you think, because you can create a funnel for this or that. And once you get those things set up, the rest of it really does become very easy. And with that, I do believe, yes, it is recording. So now I can hit stop. Before I do that, though, I want to invite anyone who may have been here for the first one to write your things in the comment section below, and anyone who is now watching this from the future, also get involved in the comment section and help each other give feedback on what's going on, where you're at, and we can all help each other come up with different audiences, come up with different chunking methods, come up with different revenue streams, and just keep each other floating through our world together. With that, let's hope I never forget how to hit record again. Till then, stay safe. It's the middle of a pandemic, but that doesn't mean we can't start taking over the world. Have a great day, guys.